Hey guys, Metal Viking 82 here, back with another Viking Orations. Got another review for you today, and this time around I'm going to be talking to you about the 2020 release from the band Cytotoxin, entitled Nuklearth, put out by Unique Leader Records. And if you're not familiar with Cytotoxin, they are a technical, brutal death metal band from Chemnitz, Saxony, Germany. Been around since 2010, featuring VT on bass, Fonzo and Jason handling the guitars. You have Stefan Stockberger on drums, and finally Grimo on vocals. This is the band's fourth full-length album overall. It is 11 tracks and clocks in at 44 minutes on the dot. And the first thing that I noticed upon hitting play on this is the very twangy bass tone, which some may not like, but I personally find myself actually kind of enjoying it. It's very high in the mix, very easily heard throughout. And yeah, you know me, I love bass, and I love a good bass tone. Yes, it is a little twangy, quite twangy, and very high twang, I might add. But I don't know, like I said, I found myself quite enjoying it. Now, the guitar work on this album, really solid, I have to say. It's got a nice crunch they got a nice crunch to them, I should say. You get a lot of these mid to fast-paced riffs with some what I like to call noodly guitar riffs and some finger taps here and there, along with some really nice melodic solos. And in fact, track 10, the title track, Nuklearth, is a perfect example of the melodic soloing that I'm talking about, along with a nice little finger tap riff that's over top of the solo at the 3:55 mark. And the other thing I really loved about that song is the Geiger counter sound that ends the track and continues on into the last track, Mors Temporis, which is basically a closing instrumental which I find the closing track with its kind of beautiful piano and violin acts as a nice calm after the storm that you've just gone through the first 10 tracks. The drums on here, oh my god, they are just insane. Lots of blast beats. The double bass is just, lightning quick. And he does these kind of little bursts at times where, he'll be doing something that's like, which, sorry about that. But yeah, he also does a lot of rolls and fills. He does these little tom passages as well while he'll be doing a blast beat, and all of a sudden he's like tapping on it. Just really cool how he does it. The snare does have a bit of a high snap to it. And during the kind of slower sections, it does kind of have a bit of a ping to it, which thankfully it's not heard during the quicker and more blast beaty sections. But when he gets to those really slow kind of breakdown moments, that's where you really kind of notice the ping sound. Finally, you have Grimo and his performance. I mean, this dude is just a beast of a front man. His performance is just absolutely killer on this album, I think. He's got this ferocious growl and roar, and he also delivers just some absolutely sick gutturals throughout this thing. Really enjoyed his vocal performance. Overall, these nuclear-powered German tech death dealers have just delivered another banger of an album, in my opinion. Is it their best release to date? That's up to the listener. Personally, I wouldn't say this is their best album that they've ever put out, but it is definitely a solid album and really worth checking out. I am definitely looking forward to more from these guys. I mean, they've really not put out a terrible album, really. So yeah, I would highly recommend checking out. So yeah, Cytotoxin with Nuklearth gets a solid 9 out of 10 from me. And yeah, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. And until next time, stay brutal.